In an apocalyptic world, whether it is a brutal winter freeze, a flooded wasteland, or a dry season where every step matters, your footwear becomes your lifeline. Today, we're looking into real survival boots that I've worn in real condition. This is footwear for the apocalypse. We've got winter survivors like the Columbia Bugaboot III and Arctic Muck boots, and all-season warriors like the Rothco forced entry SideZip. These are 7 years old. I'm gonna show you a lot about these and what they're doing to hold up after 7 years. You'll be able to see how worn they truly are. And also Nortiv 8 military boots. And I've got one that we'll save for later. But a big key here, these are all cost-effective items that I've put through a lot, and I'm gonna share what I've put them through. And stick around because later in the episode, I'll show you the single upgrade that transformed the boots that I own, and it might just double your long-term comfort in a collapse scenario. Hi, and welcome here to the apocalyptic footwear episode. So why does survival footwear matter? In any stuff has hit the fan scenario, whether you live in urban or rural, supply runs, evacuation, scouting new terrain, you are on your feet more than ever. Cars break down, roads disappear. Haven't you watched the TV shows? Feet are your literal foundation. And if your foundation fails, everything else falls apart. So in today's video, we're gonna dive deep into the boots that have earned my trust through years of use, including a pair that is 7 years old and still going strong. And I'll tell you exactly what I've had to repair along the way. And near the end, I'll share one style choice that might keep you alive longer, especially when you don't want to attract attention on a resupply mission. So first up, as I'm recording this, it is getting into winter time, so we're gonna talk about winter apocalypse footwear, and that brings me to the Columbia Bugaboot III. This is a precision boot. It is warm. These are my go-to for winter hiking and rapid maneuverability. These boots are surprisingly lightweight for insulated winter footwear. They give you traction on icy terrain without feeling like you're dragging concrete around your ankles. If you need to move fast between ruined buildings, if you need to navigate in snowy forest or climb debris-covered ground, these strike the sweet spot. Warm, they've got lots of ankle support, and they're nimble. If you have messed up ankles and knees like I do, let me know in the comments what you've done to help yourself. Whether it be gear, exercise, nutrition, it all helps. These boots are waterproof and they've got a webbing here, so you're waterproof up to about this point, right? There's this nice webbing here with the tongue. But after that, you would be overflowing the top. So you gotta watch what you go into. So let's move on to our next boot, which gives you a lot more as far as height go. And this is the tall version of the Arctic Sport Muck boot, the heavyweight champ of wet, cold, slushy, apocalyptic conditions. If civilization collapses in the middle of winter, but you are wading through meltwater, sludgy, icy mud, or flooded lowlands, these are the boots that you want. They're rated for 40 below. They are fully waterproof, pull on, insulated, and built for conditions where trench foot can be a real threat. These also shine on long duty days where you don't get the luxury of stopping to dry your socks. And since we're talking about apocalyptic scenarios, I'm going to reveal in a bit what catastrophic scenario practically requires a boot like this. The third boot we're going to talk about here is the all-season survival boots, the Rothco forced entry SideZip. I've had 7 years of abuse on these boots. These boots have literally taken me to the tops of mountains. Like I said, they are 7 years old and still kicking, still serviceable, and I've bought other pairs of the same boot. I own 2 pairs now. One has a composite safety toe and one without. This one is the one without. I want to show you the sole in here. If you can see, it's still there. It's still serviceable. And yes, it's pretty smooth for 7 years, and you can see on this footage some of the stuff that I've done in them. These have lasted a long time. So I'll say this and let the listener understand. So if there's ever a time where you need boots to last for 7 years in an apocalypse, these might be the boots for you. I've had several pairs and they have lasted a long time. I do want to talk about the repairs that I've had to make though. So I've actually had to sew this seam right here and this seam right here. And I've just had to use a needle and thread and stitch those up, and they have lasted and lasted and lasted. And as you can see, the sole has not come apart at all on either side. It just keeps on kicking. So I love these boots, and I will probably buy more as we continue. And I will say this, in an apocalypse, you want gear that you can repair. And all I did is had a needle and thread, and I actually stitched those up a little bit, and they lasted for another couple of years. So if you're on a budget and need something tough that's been proven over time, these are an excellent choice. If you think that we should repair more things and not just throw them away if they have a minor issue, hit the like button. Is there anyone else out there that are still running Rothcos after years? Let me know how long yours have lasted. Number 2 in our all seasons would be the Nortiv 8 military boots. So these are terrain tested and affordable. So the Nortiv 8 military boots are another all season option that I have tested on the way to the top of mountains. And my boys have too. They are supportive, they are easy to break in, and give you enough traction for rocky terrain or urban rubble. You can see lots and lots of traction. These are the kind of boots that you throw on when you don't know what the day will bring. Whether it's gonna be dry ground, wet grass, broken concrete, they handle it. And these boots are the SideZip type, just like the Rothcos, so they're easy to slip on. Then you zip it up and then adjust for tightness with the lacing. After this scenery break, I'll share the one upgrade that made every pair of my boots noticeably better. All right, here is the game changer. It's aftermarket insoles. So I've added upgraded insoles to a bunch of my pairs of boots, and it's made a massive difference. So you've got comfort, endurance, warmth retention, ankle support, all improved instantly. In the apocalypse, you won't have time to soak your feet, stretch, or rest. The right insoles that let you stay on the move longer, hurt less, and stay sharper. These have actually been in here for years, and like I said, they have gone up mountains too. You can see how absolutely worn they are, but they are still in there. They're still kicking and doing amazing. The right insoles let you stay on the move longer, hurt less, and stay sharper. Here's a question for you. Have insoles changed your life for the better? You can drop it in the comments. These insoles have helped my knee pain. They've helped me make it up mountains, I know, just from the solid impact. Look at this. It helps you when you're climbing over nasty chunks of concrete, rocks, all those kind of things. It doesn't hurt your foot because you've got the protection that you need. Insoles like this are a non-negotiable for me for how much they've helped me. We're gonna get to this pair very soon, but in any discussion of apocalyptic footwear, we need to talk about wool socks, wool blend boot socks, because good boots plus bad socks is a foot disaster. So I only use a wool blend sock in cold weather or in long wear situations. These again are actually years old and I've put them through so much. But these wick moisture, they insulate even when they're wet, and believe me, they do get wet just from your own sweat, right? When you're working hard in these boots, they get wet. And they stop blisters before they even start. Find a wool blend sock and wear them in some boots for a while. Make sure they really work. And then you can stock up and buy multiple pairs of the socks that you know work with your feet and your boots. Very important. So let's talk about staying low profile with footwear when it counts. And this is the stealth tip that I was talking about earlier. And if you want to avoid that military look, especially when things get dangerous, just go with plain black boots or a hiker style boot. There's so many opinions on this one. Looking less tactical in an apocalypse could make people underestimate you, which could be bad, or simply not notice you, which could be good. That could be a massive advantage on risky supply runs. You need to do what you think for the situation that you'd be facing. So to recap, we've got the Columbia Bugaboot III for fast winter maneuvering. We've got the Arctic Muck boots for deep snow and cold and serious wet conditions, or a scenario where you may be walking in contaminated areas and you will need to wash them off, like spray them off. Nasty scenarios. That's where these are required. Remember, I tell you about that. When there's contamination factors, these are a really good option. Then you've got the Rothco forced entry side zips for battle-tested durability. Over here, we've got the Nortiv 8 military boots for reliable all-season movement. And like I said, cost-effective. We've got the aftermarket insoles to power through long days. And we've got wool blend socks to protect your feet. And low profile boots for when the scenario deems it. For those situations where you don't want to look like the military whatsoever, the gray man, you put on a hiking type boot. I've linked all of these in the video description for your convenience, so you can grab what you need and get prepared before things go sideways. Your turn. What boots have survived your toughest conditions? Let me know in the comments. And if you've got a horror story about bad footwear in bad weather, share it. Someone might learn something from it. I'll learn something from it. If you like the straightforward and common sense presentation of this apocalyptic footwear without the AI slop, hit the like button and subscribe for a lot of real life disaster preparedness content. Stay warm, stay ready, and stay moving.